journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, I want you to take a look here at Microsoft. I'm not a stock trader, but I know technical analysis. This pattern here has the potential to be the most bearish thing that could run into this stock. Now, you can see the real big move we had. If this is on big volume, and I haven't checked it, and remember, we're only about 3 more hours to go, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be anything spectacular here, you see. So that is not as bearish as it might look. Hold on, Control, get rid of these others and get these out of the way here. But I just want to show you this pattern. It is so rare that you get this. This is an island reversal, okay? You open on the high, close on the low. And as I showed you before, there's been virtually no buying after this thing broke. Everybody's willing to sell. There's no 382s in here at all. They're selling this stock a lot. Now let's go back to the daily, and I want to show you this. I found one of these patterns just a minute ago, and I want to bring it to your attention. Hold on a second. It's just a little bit farther in here. Here it is. Just I'll move it over here in the middle. Okay, now this was, remember, we were coming down halfway. Now you see how all these days here, see that island that it left right here? That's the day you want to sell it, is the day like this, because when it gaps down, it's going to go down a long way. But island reversals themselves are extremely, and I do mean extremely, rare. I mean, that's why you got it. When you do see them, you have to be able to look at it. Okay, the next one we're going to look at here is we're going to take a look at Goldman Sachs. Here's Goldman Sachs on the weekly. I had several questions this morning about, all these things that are making new highs, like the S&P and the NASDAQ and stuff like that. I said, yeah, but, look at the other markets. I said the Russell is acting terrible. That's a small cap, all right? And then the Dow Jones wasn't looking that good either. So to me, it just looked like it was one of those things that you want to, look at it together. Because remember now, with the Dow Jones, you're looking at 20 stocks that are triple digit. Now, here's the big daddy rabbit in the thing. We have been here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks here. We've been here at 700, okay? That's a 3 drive to a top pattern. There's a gap here, but of course that filled it, all right? But now, this thing still looks bearish. When I wrote the letter this weekend, I went around the world for you. We went to Hong Kong. Look at that market. It's down 2%, down 1,000 Hong Kong dollars in just 3 days. If you looked at the emerging markets, that's Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, and all that stuff. And what is it doing? Selling off 5 days. So they've hit those big ABCD numbers, and they're starting to back off. Everything would have looked really good, with the exception of this earnings that came out. You can saw, little tired cowboy over here in Tucson. You can see by, the action that we had when the Federal Reserve came out and the market broke and then rallied 100 S&P points, folks. And that was due to Microsoft. It was due to NVIDIA. It was due to a couple others in there, Meta, of course, and those were stocks in the S&P 500. And when you got 8 of those out of 500, folks, 40% of the stocks in the S&P 500, 40%, all right? 40% is 200 stocks, okay? 200 of the stocks are down on the year. Come on, this is not, I'm bearish. But, all I can tell you is just be really careful in here. Things are getting a little squirrely, and they'll probably get more squirrely as we move along. Okay, now that's the one we wanted to look at. Let's go through a couple of these just so that we can see it. Here's Caterpillar. Now, it's also making new highs today. You can see we just made a new high. Look at it, Goldman Sachs. It's the same pattern. 3 drive to a top pattern. You see it everywhere. More than I've ever seen in my whole life, okay? That's the one we're looking at. Now, Meta, I don't know if I did Meta or not. I should have, but it's pretty much the same thing. Let's pull this up and take a quick look at it, because the stocks are the same charts, but they have dividends and all that other stuff that's real difficult to. But Nvidia's gone nuts too. So let's get this up here. We'll do Microsoft first. All right, there's Microsoft, and it had a little bit of a gap today. Oh my goodness, I just see it right now. What is that pattern right here? Look at that. It gapped up right here to 50. It's already dropped 24 points. Now let's just look at it intraday to see if it gave you a 382. Just exactly like what? Softy? Same thing right here, near the lows of the day. Now if these things come out and start going a little lower, all the good news is out, and that's when you got to be muy carefulito, okay? And I did Caterpillar already. I did that one. Those are the ones that I wanted you to see that are really running the show. Now let's get to something that's been near and dear to our hearts. Hold on one second. I got this out of there. It is right here. If you remember on Friday, we were really wanting to get short cattle, okay? Now, we missed it. There was where we were looking for it, right here. All right, the market backed off, stopped us out, and then on the show we run on Friday, after we got stopped out. All right, there's where you were, right there. Okay, why is it? Oh, it's a Thursday. Wow, I think it's Monday, for God's sake. I've been traveling, and one of my students and dear friends gave me a birthday present, 3 days in Las Vegas, all expenses paid. And anyway, here's you can see the 3 drive to a top. I said this in the letter, the video that I sent out last night around, I think I was still awake at 2, that this is the time you want to be looking at it. If it opened higher or had the 382 retracement like you did here, folks, we're down 6 handles, almost 7 handles. Limit down is 7 handles. So go 330, 7 takes it to 23. This was almost limit down. If it gets below here, that's it. One thing about cattle, folks, just remember, look at this. Hold on. Market that go up like this, when they come down pretty fast. And look how we're doing this today. Okay, so pay attention to that one. Very, very interesting as we look at these things unfold here. We'll just look at some of the others. Oh, here's one that's been leading the pack. Now, remember, we always talk about, what do we always talk about, folks? We always talk about watch for 382s, okay? Now, here's the situation in the NASDAQ. I mean, folks, this thing is so high I can't even calculate it. Let's just get this up here on a daily. You'll see it looks like a rocket ship, and there it is. I don't know. Let's just hit the numbers to see where we are. Well, we made a 127 of that expansion right here. And there's something else way back. No, it's not. That's it. But here's where we are right now. So let's look at this intraday. Okay, there was the high. There was your first retracement right here. This was the important one, folks, because this was the opening of the market. See, there's your opening of your stock market, and all it could do. Are you ready for this? Get that placard out there, Johnny, and there it is right there on the money honey. What did it do again? Right there, money honey, right on the exact 382. Just draw it in. Yeah, well, anyway, I'll draw it in, and then what we will do is we'll be back to talk to you about some other goodies, okay? So stay with us and hang in there.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN. educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, this is December gold here over the last few days. There was a high. Now, this is not missing data. They just rolled it over on the 30th from September. It used to be October, but evidently that's now Maverick month. It's 5 times the volume here in December. You can see we made the 61% retracement last night. Had a nice run to the upside here from Friday to. I keep thinking it's the weekend. Boy, anyway, let's not try to remember that. But what I wanted to show you here was earlier this morning. This was on your 31st of July. Now, if you look at after we had the big run, okay, now after that big run, you'll see we stopped exactly. Look at this. Oh, well, that's showing it right now, but look exact at the time. That was a 382. Goes up, makes the ABCD, stopped right here. Now, I just posted this on a smaller time frame because I wanted you to see it because we saw this same pattern here. And guess what? Guess what was it? It was a Russell. This is the 135 pattern. There it is. You've got lower tops. Top 1, top 2, top 3. Now all you have to do is to measure. Let's just get this out of the way here for a second. You'll see from high to high. Let's just quickly look at the high to high to see if there's any symmetry. Remember, this takes several. Yeah, there it is. There's your symmetry. High, high, high. Right over there, right there. So we're going to blow it up like this and find the ratios that we're looking at. So the first ratio, of course, is the 786 right here. Then we have the big move down, okay? The 382 and that big move down was just hit just a minute ago here at 351. I'll tell you, we take the next one, and this will probably be exactly 50%. And there it is right there. So there's your number right here. If you see a trade above 54, it's wrong. But this is what's happening. You can see there's your rally. It's taken a little over an hour to do that. But, when you're micro trade, well, it's not micro trading, but this contract's 330,000. The S&P is 300 and some thousand. Okay. Now, the crude oil, that one's only about 68,000. So there's a huge difference in these things as we're watching them unfold here. Okay. So that's where we're watching. All right, let's get this out of the way. And, well, I got to do a couple quick things here. Now, here is another one that we want to be watching. I've already done I don't think I did the Dow Jones, but let's get it up here because the Dow Jones has been the weaker. Folks, there should have been no way in God's little green earth with Microsoft, the number 2 in the Dow Jones. Okay, now this is today's action. Okay, you can see where we went from the 44. It was up 400 Dow points, and that's almost all Microsoft, folks, because it's the largest. Okay, I mean, stop and think. Microsoft has a value of 5 times Walmart. Okay, 3 times IBM, 10 times or 20 times Intel. I mean, this is why the Dow index is price weighted. It's not the number of shares. It should be cap weighted. Cap weighted, you take the outstanding shares, multiply it by the price, and that gives you the capitalization or what the company is actually worth. That's not the way they do it. But here's what we did. But look at the action here. There's your high, all right? There's your morning low right here. Okay, you have a big rally, and it comes right down to right here. Now, I just happened to be watching this because I was watching something else. Anyway, there's your high right here. We're going to do a little bit of the ABC action, see if it did any help to us today. And there's your ABCD. Should have come in here at 45,452, but with these big moves down of a couple hundred points in a bar, you have to extend the CD leg by 1.2 cent. 1.27, sorry. I'm not going to apologize. I have too darn much fun in life. I don't mean it. Okay, look at that. Almost to the exact tick right here. And when we rallied back, let's just look at the rally. Just get up here and take a look. We get 2 rallies. We had this one right here. Okay. Went almost to the exact 618. And then we had the other one right here that did go to the 618. And it actually went a little bit above it right in here. But the difference is, you see, this isn't a really clear 135 pattern like we have in the gold. There's not symmetry between high, and how. These are just ABCD patterns that are unfolding, okay? Wow, that's a nice one. Hold on just a second here. Oh, the S&P is getting ready to, this is really important, folks, here in the Stop and P. Let me show you here. Let's get that. Let's go to a 13-minute here. You know, I talk about these things in the air all the time, but, you know, most people don't pay any attention. But this is the S&P, okay? There's where we were last night. We were up at 64.70. All right. Now stop and think. This was going on Thursday night. This is when the Fed spoke. They took it 64.35, dropped it 60 handles, and then Microsoft comes out, Meta comes out, and Meta. Mainly it was Microsoft and Meta. NVIDIA. NVIDIA went nuts too. So you had 4 stocks that basically did all of this. Okay. Now look what happened. Bang, bang, bang. And just recently, what do you think that is? Yes, you're correct. But what's so important about this one, folks? This was the early morning low, just like we saw the Dow, correct? There's your A, B, C, D right there. And where do you think the low was? Right here. Let's just get it up here so you'll be able to see it. Bada bing, bada boom. Put up your little placard on 618, Johnny. There's your 382. There's your 618. There's your 382. And folks, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. You'll see here, because this looks like that we could actually, if the market weakens and with 2.5 hours to go, doesn't take much, we could cut us down to 63.70 today, folks. Markets that go up have a tendency to go down. That's just a tendency that they have. So let's keep in mind that we're watching these, okay? Got that out of the way. Hold on. I did the crude oil, I'm pretty sure. Next what we have to do is we have to take a look at the currencies. I am going to talk about the grains, folks, because I've been dead wrong in that, but, you know, I was dead wrong, but not long. I mean, we got out right away. You know, it's dropping and dropping. Yeah, I missed that one. Well, good luck. Okay, here's one we didn't miss. This is the British pound. If you're going back to that daily chart, way back here, that 137 and change right there, there it is. There's where we were just 8 days ago. We had an 8-day rally. We are really close to a really major buy here in the British pound, folks. Let's look at this really closely. All right, let me get this out of the way here because you don't need to see this darn thing. It's not, it's still active, but not that as active. Okay, there's the move down. All right, and we saw the ABCD. That's what gave us this high right there. There was the A, B, C, D. My goodness, it actually worked. And then we looked for the short. It came in right about here. All right, then we had the big move down. Then we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 day rally, stopping exactly, you can see right there, exactly at the 50% level. And then this was the day when you took out that previous low. Something really happened there. You know, that's when you know that this is what happens to the S&P today. If we go below 6,400 on a close, it's going to be this type of day. All right, and we've got two stocks, you know, Microsoft and Meta, that don't look pretty good. I mean, people sold that stuff, and not only that, nobody bought it. Nobody. It just kept going down, down, down. That's liquidation of longs, folks. All right, now as you can see here, there's where we are. We're really close. There's your 382. 13150. We're at 13215. We had a tiny bit of a rally. Hold on, let's get this up. We're going to finish. There we go. We're almost there. So stay with us.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Well, the British pound's going to have to wait a couple of minutes. Something important is happening. You notice here the early morning low here was at 382. We rallied up, didn't stop at the 50% level, but it did stop at the ABCD. Then it rallied up to the 382 off of this. This measures to right down here, a new low. Now, how's this going to be looking Thursday night? Golly, Larry, try it again. Wednesday night, they have the Federal Reserve comes in, and boy, things look bad. Boom. 20 minutes later, 20, 30 minutes later, all those reports came out. Now, everybody that's bought that stuff, almost everybody's got a loss on it. That's why you're looking at the charts, and you see there's been nothing but selling. Now, what happens if there's some type of a tiny bit of negative news to this? Oh boy, when the big daddy rabbits can't lead the parade is in serious trouble. So we're looking at this as a potential low for the day with 2.5 hours to go, and we're setting right here, very close to the 786. Your first key is, let's put the limit minder in, is when we break through the 78% level. That'll tell us, yes, there's something pretty serious going on here to the downside. Okay, so we're watching that very, very closely here. Now let's get back to that British pound. This is really the kind of trade that you really want to be watching, folks. Got everything that you can possibly ask for it. There's your A, B, C, D pattern right there. Like Jim 21 says, defy human nature, do the work yourself. When all he's saying is, I'm showing you A, B, C, D. Draw it yourself. Because when you draw it yourself, you're going to be able to see that darn thing really works. Take your pencil, make the things blank, print it out with a white background so it doesn't use any of your ink, and then just take your pencil and draw. There's your AB leg right there. Okay, and then you come down, say, okay, I'm going to draw, there's an A, B, C, D. So that's an A, B, C, D leg to the downside right here. That means that this is going to go up. Shut the front door. This is going to go up to this level right there. And by golly, we miss it by just a heartbeat. I mean, you're talking here about almost nothing. This was the day we were looking at the short side because we had completed this A, B, C, D. So when we did that, we're seeing that pattern that we're seeing everywhere in the stock markets across the world, known as, it doesn't draw it right because, sorry, this is a 3 drive. There's drive 1, okay? There's drive 1. There's drive 2, and there's drive 3. There's an intermediate one in here, and that also is a 3 drive. In fact, that probably shows it better. I'll just draw that one in for, this is not an easy one, but there's drive 1, there's drive 2, there's drive 3. This one will look just like the one in Goldman Sachs and also in Goldman Sachs, and also in Caterpillar. Those are the ones that we'll be watching right here. So this is tell us where we are. Here's where we're going to be watching. Look at the number of days down in the move. Count that number of days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Later this week, maybe tomorrow. Remember, time is most elusive. The most important thing is mathematics. This is geometry. These lines where this says 382, that's mathematics. When they match up like we do here, there's geometry and mathematics together. That's where the big daddy rabbit plays his game, because you know why? He knows exactly what he's right on or wrong, what he's wrong. He buys it here. He puts $100 stop on it, or excuse me, 100-point stop, and that's it. Look how close he is to the 1.618 expansions and everything, or the 618 on the long-term daily. This is a monster pattern coming here, folks. We had a little tiny bit of a rally here early this morning. You can see. We'll just draw this up. I actually did this because there was the move down. Okay, now the rally back didn't stop at 382, came all the way up to the 50% level, and then as you can see, it's starting to go lower. Why is it going lower? It's searching for that number we want, which is 3151. This is just my good buddy. He always forgets. Hold on just a minute. I'm back at work, buddy. I got the radio show on, so let me call you afterwards, okay? I love you, buddy. Yeah, bye-bye. He took me to Sarah and I to Las Vegas for 3 days, all expenses paid, including a couple little poker money, and I had a wonderful time. It was one of my most successful trips. I didn't make a lot of money. I made a little money, but it was, and I'm talking, a couple hundred, well, a little more than that, just under $1,000. So it was pretty good for a couple of days. I had some nice meals, met some good friends from all over the country that popped in and had been there too. And I have 4 or 5 friends over in Las Vegas, so it was fun, but I'm tired. Okay, here's where we are. This is the British pound, and you can see there's the action today. The reason why it's doing this is it's heading for that number right there. See that number right there? That's where we want to look. That's where the big daddy rabbit bounces, right there. There's going to be your A, B, C, D coming in right about there. That's the long-term daily everything. That number is 13155, and that's what we're waiting for in the British pound. Okay, now let's get to the bad news. The bad news is the old cowboy really thought that we were going to, oh, just a minute, who's that guy over there? Hello, folks, and we'll get this over here out of the way. I need to start looking at some grains. All right, we'll do one at a time because I still haven't given up, but boy, the weather is so good over there. It's a greenhouse effect this year, and not only that, there's no China buying, so it's just really bearish there. Now that can change in a heartbeat, but one of the ones that we really liked, and you can see here, it's dog do. You see that? Now folks, we gave up on that right there. You know, so this is not July corn. We were in December. Stop it. Let's get up here, get the December corn up, which is right below it right here. Remember, we were buying that at 411, and you can see here we made a new lower low and bounced back from that level. Shut the front door. Never thought it would. It never made a new low. Okay, now there's we bought this at 11. Okay, we sold it up here. Made a nice $750, and look, I missed this one today too. There's a really nice ABCD here corn. This is the biggest crop we have in the United States. It's the biggest crop in the world, and this is it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 days down, 1 day up, 1, 2, 3, 4 days down. Let's see how close it came to the old AB equals CD, and there's your AB, and there's your CD. 408. It's a nickel higher right now. So folks, I did not look at the grains. I watched the currencies. I watched crude oil and all the other financial stuff that makes it count, and that's why we're watching it. Now, we had a pretty good rally here. Looks like we hit some type of a bottom here in the A. There's your ABCD right here. It looks like we might just have made it. See, it's got a real, well, we just took that low out, so now we're going to see where we are. No, it hasn't made it yet. It's still going to go lower. Let's take a look at the S&P since we were off the air here for just a second. We're having a little bit of a rally. We want to try to quantify what's going to happen with this rally. Well, here's where it's done nothing. Hello, operator. This is peanuts. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, this is the October cattle. You can see there was the opening today. Opened a little bit lower, then it rallied back to unchanged, just a little above the 382, and then it's down. Now, the limit in cattle is 7 cents. So from 129.7, it can go all the way down to right here, which is limit down. We haven't seen a limit down in cattle since Hector was a pup, and that dog's 32 years old. Anyway, look, that's what we just missed the 382 rally right here by $0.50, and now we're coming down. This move right here, of course, is $1,000. As you can see, it's moving quite a bit. This has a potential, folks, to be a real big one, and I'll tell you why. There's never been this many people long cattle. It has to be somebody short, but the only people that are short are a couple of, wise guys from Tucson, but most of them, they're speculators, and then the hedgers, the guys that raise the cattle, those are the ones that make the move. Now, this is the biggest move we've had in one day, folks. Look, that's 6.5 cents already. Never do you find anything 6.5 here. Not in one day. Hello, operator, not a chance. This means something big is happening. So what you got to do now is when you come in each day, get your little, things up and then watch for 382s, just like we were doing just a second ago. So we look for that 382. Tomorrow I'll come in and see where you are right now. Here was Friday's action right here. There was your drive 1 right here. There's drive 2. There's drive 3. A, B equals CD. Let's just double check to see how close it was. Oh, there it is right there. Well, there's 2 ABCDs here. Let's draw them in so we can see them. Okay, there's the main one that we were watching, which is, it's got that drawn wrong. Hold on just a second. Yeah, there's the first one is right here. There's your AB equals CD, takes us up to 29.56, and we got another one right here. That takes us up just a tiny bit higher. This high to this low right here. That takes us up to the high, which was Friday right here. Opens lower, bada bing, bada boom. And as you can see now, we're drifting to the downside. Okay, that's the cattle. We'll get this out of the way here. hold on one second, and I want to get back to soybean oil. Give me 1 second, because that was, I've got it here somewhere. I was going to put it up again, make it a lot easier on myself. Here's Christmas oil. There was a big week we had last week. If you remember, we talked about that giant ABCD right there. Now, don't tell anybody about this ABCD stuff, folks, because that takes all the fun out of it. It'll stop working. But there's your low. There's your high. There's your low. There's your high, 57.09. The high was, are you ready? 57.01. So not too bad. This time it didn't work. They missed it by 6 points. Now, it hasn't done anything. We're only down 1.5 points. That's like $900. That's nothing. But look at this little ABCD that's right here. So look at this on an hourly basis. If you're going to buy something, you're looking to buy something, you can see what happens in one day. But as you look at this, all right, look at this. Where's the gap? This is where this is a really important low, because this is where it went limit bid and then took off and backed off one more time. Let's just look at it closely to show you how powerful that was. After it broke, you can see it looks like it came right down to, all you got to do is hit this button and that'll tell us. Yeah, there it is. See, the first one makes a 40% retracement. This is 382. Where we are right now is at 61. But we also have to go back and calculate this one, because this is the low end of the gap. So we want to see if that's close to it. It's not. It's 50%. I can see it right now. And there it is right now, exactly 50% right here. So this could be strong support. I prefer, to look at the 382 on the whole thing. And that's why this has been a bull market for 2 solid months, folks. So we haven't had hardly any. The only correction we had was like this one right back here. This was a pretty significant correction. Now we're starting a significant correction here. It's bigger than that one. It's bigger than that one. It's not bigger than this one. So we want to go to Andrew Lowe and see why markets repeat. There was the last big correction we had. So is that going to repeat? I don't know. All I know is it's time to take a look at it when we get it down about another penny and a half, okay? There's your soybean oil, Christmas oil, 53.28. You're still in a bull market, folks. There's no question about that. You're going to have a repetition of a previous cycle, all right? So keep an eye on that at that level right here, right around 53.28 in the Christmas soybean oil. Now let's take a look at the wheat, because they have beaten it up something fierce. Luckily, we made a little money on them, gave a little bit of it back, but overall we were net profit. Here is Christmas wheat, and I believe it made new lows today. It certainly did. Here's where we are right now. I think we're making another bottom in here. Let's just double check, get this. Oh, I see, I missed something already. Shut the front door. Get your buy signal on, folks. You got to buy some wheat today or tomorrow. No, it'd be today, probably. There's your AB leg. There's your CD leg. There it is. There's your low today. Well, buy it tomorrow at 535. What was the low today? It was 536, and we're 541 right now. I'd be looking to buy wheat in this area right here. Oh, one other one. Let's pay attention, Larry. Maybe there's another pattern in here that the folks would like to see. And there is another bigger one right there. There's AB equals CD, and that tells you that you're going to get down here. Oh, well, you even got a chance to make it at 528. So, how many down? You're down quite a bit. So, you know me, I'm within a half a penny of this low right here. I have to take a look at it. What I'll do is I'll leave an order in tonight to buy it at 535, okay? And if I get filled at 535, I'll risk a nickel, 8 cents. So 535 with a stop below this level here, which would be 527. But that's multiple ABCDs. Folks, there is nobody bullish out there in the grains. I'm just looking at a technical picture. I used to be bullish. But, you know, when that weather didn't evaporated, the weather forecast of hot, dry weather, you know, it was hot, all right, but it was like a, you know, greenhouse effect. They were pumping water into the system. They still got water in the streets there in Minneapolis. Okay, let's get this out of the way here, and we want to check one more thing, which is protein. We're going to look at the soybean meal. I really thought that this had the best, you know, that's one of the things, folks, when you listen to me for a while, when I see something that I really like, there's a Mexican word for that, folks, and I use it all the time, especially when I'm playing poker. Cuidado, and that means danger. You know, you get a pair of aces and it looks like a great hand, and the flop comes 7-9-4. Your chances of winning that pot are real slim, even though the aces look pretty good. There's people that have 2 4s, different sets of trips, flush draws. It's a terrible one. You need big cards if you got pocket aces, which I did okay. Over the weekend, folks, I was playing, and I played like 6 hours a day for 3 days. In those 3 days, folks, I had 2 straight flushes. I had an 8 high, straight flush in clubs, and then I also had a queen high in spades, and there was a little bonus involved with that I donated to the dealers and stuff. But that's what we're paying attention here so far today. All right, I know you're interested about what's going on, Wendell. Let's just get this up here. I made it through this show, folks. I wasn't sure I was going to, and I maybe not make the last few minutes. I don't know. Let's get right back to you. Okay, we'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Folks, this is the Hong Kong index from Hong Kong, of course. There was the targets right here. Look what's happened, folks. In just 3 days, we've given back 2.5%, left almost an island reversal here, big gap down. Folks, this could remind us of what happened here. But look, there's your A, B, C, D. I did this for everything across the world: India, Hong Kong, Japan, all those other places in Egypt and Middle East, Far East. I look at all of them. There's so many ABCs. I've never seen so many in my life. And I've looked at a lot of them, but there's so many. I'm looking at emerging markets. I mean, same thing. And not only that, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It hit the target and came back. Now, NVIDIA, boom. Microsoft, boom. And some of these others went nuts, but those were only 3 or 4 stocks. And what are they pumping in the news every day? Every day. I mean, I was listening, looking over my shoulder Monday and Tuesday, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, and saw that on Wednesday. I said, oh, my God, what's happened here? The world's changed. And again, today you come in and, well, maybe it's not changing like we think it is. Anyway, that's what we're paying attention to here today, okay? Tomorrow, I believe our guest is going to be Stan Harley. He should be back in town by then. He said he was going to try to be there, and so we'll have him as a guest. He's been quite bullish for a while, and I imagine with this type action, we'll have to wait and see. But boy, that's good news, bad action, folks. So you got to pay attention to that kind of stuff. All right. So let's keep a close eye on that. Look how quickly, folks, this S&P went through that 786. This is where we're heading. And then I don't know, after this is all bullish news. And look where we have here. This is not telling us that we're looking, because there's your A, B, C, D, and that means you'll kick this low out and then have a pretty good rally. We'll see if that's going to be working out. Okay, that's what we're paying attention to. All right, so we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow, and may God bless.